If you're stuck around 2K iRating, chances are the problem isn't your setup or your wheel. Most drivers below 2K make the same mistakes, and the biggest one is not understanding how grip works. Once you understand that, everything else starts making a lot more sense. Let's start with the most important concept in racing, weight transfer. Every tire only has a certain amount of grip available. The amount of grip a tire has depends heavily on how much weight is sitting on it. Every time you touch the brake or throttle, you're moving that weight around the car. When you brake, the weight shifts forward. The front tires gain grip and the rear tires lose grip. That's why braking helps a car rotate. Here you can see I'm still carrying a small amount of brake pressure into the corner. The extra load on the front tires helps the car rotate towards the apex. A lot of drivers finish all their braking in a straight line. They are completely off the brake, then ask the car to turn. The problem is that the front tires have already lost that extra grip. Here, the brake is released too early. The front tires aren't loaded anymore and the car starts pushing wide on entry. Trail braking isn't about slowing the car down deeper into the corner. It's about keeping weight on the front axle long enough to help the car rotate. Notice how the car naturally points toward the apex without needing extra steering input. Throttle. Now let's look at corner exit. As soon as you apply throttle, weight moves rearward. The rear tires gain grip, the front tires lose grip. Here's the throttle applied before the car has finished rotating. Weight shifts rearward, the front tires lose grip, and the car starts understeering towards the outside car. When drivers feel understeer, they often add more steering lock. Usually, that's the wrong solution. The front tires are already overloaded. The better solution here is actually less throttle. Once the front tires regain grip, the car can finish rotating. Understanding this single concept will make you faster in every car. The brake pedal loads the front tires, the throttle loads the rear tires. Racing lines. The second mistake is using the same racing line in every car. Cars with lots of downforce generally reward carrying corner speed. Here we can see a relatively early apex. The car has plenty of aero grip and limited power, so maintaining momentum through the corner is the priority. Cars with lots of power and less aero often reward a later apex. Here we can see a late apex. This car has lower aerodynamic grip and a lot of power, so the priority is getting the car straight in earlier and maximizing exit speed. The key point is that the fastest line depends on the strength of the car you're driving. The next tip is sticking to one car. Another mistake I see all the time is constantly changing cars. 1 week GT3, the next Super Formula, then Porsche Cup, then prototypes. Every time you switch, you're learning a different driving style. Most of my improving came from sticking to one category and understanding it properly. My next big tip is that qualifying matters more than most people think. Starting P5 instead of P15 can change your race completely. Less traffic, less risk, and less time fighting slower drivers. Often, on the first lap, being near the end of the grid can set you already 10 seconds back, so practicing your qualifying is as important as getting race pace. Now let's talk about practice. Most drivers focus on the wrong thing when they're practicing. They care about their single fastest lap. They load into a session, set a personal best, and they think they're ready to race. The problem is that races aren't won with your best lap. They're won with your average lap. Anyone can occasionally put together one great lap. The drivers who gain iRating are the ones who can repeat it. If your fastest lap is a 145, but the rest of your race is 146s and 147s, that pace doesn't really matter. I'd rather be a driver who can run 20 consecutive 145.5s than someone who can produce one amazing lap and never repeat it. And most importantly, consistency wins races. A lot of drivers spend hours crashing for one perfect lap. The best drivers spend hours trying to make every lap look the same. If you're stuck below 2K iRating, focus on understanding weight transfer, using the right line, sticking to one category, qualifying well, and practicing with purpose. Master those fundamentals and your iRating will take care of itself.